Mark Felt, The Man Who Brought Down the White House, is directed by Peter Landesman, the man behind Concussion and Parkland, and it stars Liam Neeson as Mark Felt. It tells a real-life story of Mark Felt, an FBI veteran of 30 years who blew the whistle to the Washington Post about information in regards to the Watergate scandal. This is a very famous case in American history, so much so that the Post, which I still haven't seen unfortunately, is also coming out with the other side of that story. I was very interested in this film because I always like to learn American history, and I always like these films that feel like companion pieces to each other. In many years we get films like Olympus Has Fallen and White House Down, basically the exact same films. One of them works, one of them doesn't. But then we get films like Anthropoid and A Man with the Iron Heart, two films about the same event but showing us different perspectives. Mark Felt and The Post are, from what I understand, without having seen The Post, exactly the same film but the two different perspectives. And Liam Neeson is a commander on screen. He leads this film brilliantly. He really incorporates the Mark Felt character. From what I've read of him, he always has these sticks to him that he taps his cigarette or a pen or even a pencil brush on something when he's thinking, when he's under pressure, when he's having reunions. And I love how he's under pressure throughout this film. Early in the film, no spoilers, but J. Edgar Hoover dies and the FBI gets appointed a new director in which Mark Felt doesn't trust very much. He has his friends and companions and he forms this little group that wants to take down the White House because of this Watergate scandal and because he wants to uphold the FBI's independence from the American government. And that works for his character. As far as the character journey that we find in this film, that is all very well done. The film, however, seems to be a snapshot of events. For instance, Liam Neeson meets with the journalist once in this film. He blows the whistle once in this film. We see one moment where he whistle blows information to the Washington Post. And near the end of the film, again without spoilers, there is actually a quote that says, "Can you give us a snapshot of how that happened?" And that is exactly how the film feels like. It feels dull at points even. It's just capturing this one moment, that one moment, and the story progresses and feels like a narrative, but it feels too clunky, too mechanic. It feels like we need this scene for the sake of this other scene making sense, and not because it will give something to the story, some emotional weight, some drama, some dramatic effect, some oomph, narratively speaking. There are also other good performances throughout, with Tony Goldwyn, with Marton, Csokas, I think that's how you spell his name, and even Diane Lane, who plays his wife, and they're both going through some personal drama. That works effectively, again, for the character journey, but not for what should be a very engrossing white-knuckle political spy thriller. And here you have a story, a plot that carries drama, that carries emotional weight by nature, and by the end, I didn't feel that much. I liked Liam Neeson because he's Liam Neeson, and he looks a lot like Mark Felt. In fact, he looks quite a lot older than what he seems right now if you see him in interviews and all, and I hope that's just makeup and effects for the character and that Liam Neeson is not suddenly growing older in a bad way. And despite other good performances throughout the film, I would have liked to see more of the characters. Again, we get snapshots of the friendship that he has, for instance, with Tony Goldwyn's character, and I wish I could have learned a little bit more about that character. I wish I could have learned a little bit more about the new director of the FBI, because you never get to see his side. He seems corrupt, he seems like he's going the wrong way, but he certainly had his reasons, and I wish he could have delved more into other characters and not just Mark Felt. He's clearly the main character, clearly this is his story, but we've seen other stories, many other films, where we have a clear central character, but we understand the other characters, what they are going through, and their motivations. Mark Felt certainly has the ingredients for making an emotional, compelling, white-knuckle political thriller that invests you throughout. It's not overly long, but it feels dull at too many points for you to be invested 100%. Liam Neeson commands the screen, there is some good direction, there is some good dialogue, and I will not tell you to skip it because it is an interesting perspective to see this man's life and what he accomplished, but I won't say that it is a much watch either, and whether you watch it or not, your heart will go on. What did you think of Mark Felt, the man who brought down the White House, my beautiful geekies? Did you enjoy it? Did you not? Let me know in the comments below, and in a few hours we will have the first ever live stream Q&A talking about 2017 and the year to come, 2018. I hope to see you there. I hope I can make this work at all because it will be my first time, but I'll see you there. Come join me, and so until then, you stay beautiful, you stay geeky, and if you haven't done so yet, click the subscribe button and the bell so we can be geeky united!